We had a problem last night on the way home. I tried to slow down, but the only thing I could do is to try to straddle the deer, which was a buck. And so I ran over him. Of course, Fiona is very low to the ground, and it did not sound good. So I'm going to take this opportunity to replace that skid plate with not an OEM plastic skid plate, but with some type of aluminum. So I'll do some research, and we'll come back when we're ready to replace that. That'll make for a good video. First thing is I'll show you the new skid plate. Kind of hate to get it scratched up, but I think we can take it out without doing so. Now again, once again, corners are well protected, so that must have been an issue they were having, and they resolved it. Some of the questions you see on Amazon is, does it have the insulation foam backing? And the answer is yes, it does. It's not lined up completely perfect, but if you try to take it off and move it, it tears. So I think she's going to be okay. So let's get the old plate off, and we'll do a comparison. So we're going to get Fiona up on the ramps. Be right back. So now let's do a little comparison. It is not the same. So this is the front. Let's see if it's going to work. The good thing that I wanted to look for is any other damage, any other evidence of the wreck of the deer, and I'm not seeing any. So that's great. So let's take this back out and go to the next step. You will need a 10mm socket for the bolts that are at the front of the car, and I presume this one that I'm about to take out. You will need a 15mm socket for these two bolts here, and I'm thinking this is going to be, these corners are 10 as well. Then you will need, for these spacers, a 6mm hex. I thought these were spacers. They're not spacers, they're fasteners. So what happens is, in the old system, so we have two threaded bolts coming down from some part of the frame, and they go into these holes, and a nut went on top of those. But in the new system, they don't make that indentation, so you slide this over. The bolts will fit through these holes, and then you're going to attach the fasteners to those bolts. Now what's nice about that is I think I can put the back end in and get these two started to hold the plate, and then I can start the other bolts. I don't have these two tabs that go underneath that lip. The splash guard is the front. So this is a skid plate. Right under the bumper is called a splash guard. It's only broken in one place, and it's going to be covered up by this. There are a couple of fasteners out on the side, and I'm going to have to get some new, those little pop-in plastic fasteners. But other than that, this is going to cover that place. So I don't think I need to replace the splash guard, so that's good. What we have here, I have taken all of the fasteners, put them in a pile. I was going to leave them by where they go, but I'm going to put them in a pile. I'm going to take them, each one right here, and oops, I'm going to put a little bit of, I'm going to go ahead and preload them with some Loctite. All right. So just a dab on each one, and I'm going to preload these guys with some Loctite as well. And you can see that I've got the cardboard, and so I tell you what, while I've got you here, I think I can go ahead, slide the skid plate under there if there's enough light for you to see. Fasteners hanging down like that about an inch, but maybe it's correct. That all makes sense. All right, I tell you what, we'll just leave this camera on for what you can see. I don't know that you can see much, but it is starting to rain. And so that has become part of the goal, to get this done before it starts pouring rain. Preloading your fasteners with Loctite. I'm using the blue Loctite. I considered the red, but you just never know about these things. You may have to get into them again. And with red, you've got to heat it up. I already got some on that one. All right, all the fasteners have Loctite. I think they do. So yeah, all right, so let's get under here and see what we can do. I'm just gonna take these two guys first. Fastener will not stick down. It does screw onto the bolt, or I guess you could call that a stud at that point instead. There we go. If I can get it started. It does not want to start. Can't really tell if it started or if it's cross-threaded, but I think it may be started. All right, where's my other one? Here it is. Now let's see if I can find the other one. There we go. Yes, I know the trick of turning it backwards for a little bit and trying to make sure you're not cross-threading. All right, now, yay, I left my hex wrench within reach. See if these things are tightening up here. I believe that is working. So what I'm going to do is not tighten everything up just yet. Want to make sure, yeah, that's threading on there nicely. Now we don't have the ramp. We're not up on the ramps. I don't think you're going to be able to tell much from this. Hopefully the video from the ramp with the ramps yesterday did its job, but this is just perfectly aligned, perfect, everything lined up perfectly. If this does not show up in the other video, we ran out of room on the card. We'll put it back on the ramp and show you again. All right, we have removed the fiberboard skid plate. I'm sure the camera doesn't really show you, but again, you know, if you can think about the old deck lids, that's all this is. If I got this wet, if I put any pressure on this at all, it would break like a pretty good cardboard, which is basically, I don't know, they call it fiberboard. It's basically cardboard with some kind of fibers in it. Now, excuse me. So you can see the new aluminum skid plate is the identical shape and size. This fiberboard has these little reinforcement, just a real thin metal reinforcement plate on these two wings. Obviously, it's not necessary on the new aluminum plate. Are you sacrificing a little bit of weight? Yes. Does it matter? I doubt it. I mean, infinitesimal difference in range, I would believe. So, I mean, this just looks fantastic, does it not? And it's going to line up perfectly. Only one size, come around this way, only one size fastener, and that is a 15 millimeter socket. You do have a lot more connection points on the rear than the front. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 13 connection points, maybe 14. No, 13. All right. So I am going to I'm going to preload these screws, or bolts rather, with Loctite. We're going with the blue again, so we can get it off if we need to. Oh, and I want to show you what this is protecting. So hang on. Let's see. All right, so here you are. Here we are underneath the car. And I think there's your drive motor. So the only thing between the deer antlers or whatever you're coming against and the drive motor is that piece of fiberboard. Not even the nice plastic that's on this front splash guard. All right, there's your drive motor. Hope you can see that. And so we're gonna put you on pause and let's install it and see what we got. I told you, I bought for you a new skid plate, correct? Mm-hmm. Do me a favor, stand right to that side if you don't mind, thank you. I bought a new skid plate for you. So, all right, wait a minute. This is your old skid plate, which protects your motor from things like deer. So hold that, feel that. How substantial does that appear to be?
This is flimsy.
Flimsy, that's a great word. And look up here, and this, it's gotten wet here. What's gonna happen when it gets wet? It's gonna degrade and break off.
It has sand on it.
Let me tell you what, I didn't show this to the people, but when I pulled it out, it was full of rocks. Right here, in these two indentations were full of gravel. Here is your new one. How does this one look to you?
Fancy.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but okay. More substantial?
Yeah.
Gonna protect your private parts up under there? Gonna protect your important parts up under there is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Gonna protect your important parts, which is part of
I don't know what's under there.
your drive motor. Well, if you'd like, there's a flashlight. Lie down on that cardboard. Yeah, you don't want to? I'll hold the camera. I just showed the people. Yeah, there she goes. See what's under there?
Yeah.
That's your drive motor. All kinds of important integral parts. And if you ran over them with that, ran over a deer, you could.
I'm not planning to run over a deer.
Neither was I. Okay, so anyway, so there you go. So
I'm planning to keep my distance.
the best plans and good intentions are waved by the roadside or something. I don't know what it says. Anyway, there you go. So I just wanted the people to see what I was doing for you. And I know that I asked her upstairs, do you want me to put a skid plate on your car? She said, I don't know. Do I need it? She always is a little apprehensive when I tell her I'm going to mess with the car. I wonder why. Something to do with a paint job. But anyway, so, all right, we're going to put it on pause. I'll put this on. I'll show you the finished product. Anything else you want to say to the people?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right. We are finished. Let's get up under here and we'll show you the finished product. All right. I don't know how well you can see, but look at that. Fits perfectly. All of the integral parts are covered and protected, and everything is snugged down, and it's beautiful. I can't wait to get the other set of skid plates in. Can't wait to get the other set of skid plates in. So I've got the front skid plate replaced on Fiona because we ran over the deer. By the way, look at that good looking Harley back there. We'll have to do a ride on the Harley sometime in the Good Wine Zone. And then I've got the rear replaced on Tessie, excuse me, because Tessie had the fiberboard, and so it was important to, I think, to replace these as quickly as possible, especially since I know now what the deer can do underneath there. But we had to replace Fiona's because plastic was gone. So we've ordered another set. We'll put those on and probably do a little video and show you how those go, but they're going to be great. Thanks for watching, and you say take care. Subscribe, like, subscribe, click, whatever. This will probably never make it to the channel because Dina doesn't like it when I, make people dizzy.